I am here with Kazu Kibuishi, the author and creator of the Amulet series, as well as the editor of the Flight Explorer series, Mystery Boxes, and the regular Flight Anthology. And are you ready for my 5 fabulous questions?
Yeah.
Excellent. The first one is, how did you get started working in comics?
I got started working, if you want to go way back, I did my first book when I was about 4 or 5 years old. So I'm one of those kids. I've been drawing cartoons and comics ever since I could remember. I didn't think I was going to be, well, it's not true. When I was about 10 to 12 years old, I thought I could become a professional comic artist, so I worked really hard to try to do that. I actually got offered a job drawing comics when I was in high school, but I ended up just going to college instead.
Oh, wow.
And I went to study film, because at that point, when I was in high school, I actually wanted to be a filmmaker. Okay. But I started drawing a lot of cartoons for the Daily Nexus, the newspaper, the college newspaper, and I was getting paid to do the comics in there. And even though that's not really a professional publication, I thought of that as my big first professional gig, because I was having to work on a daily deadline, and I was producing comics, for 20,000 circulation. It was great. So that would probably be my first moderately professional gig. After that, when I was working at other jobs, I put together the Flight Anthology, and that was picked up by Image Comics, and I would probably say that was my first true professional comics publication, alongside Daisy Cutter issue 1 through Viper Comics. They saw something on my website. All this happened because I put stuff on my website. I did a webcomic called Copper, and I put a lot of sketches in different forums. And to the credit of the publishers out there, they're always on the hunt for good comic artists and trying to support them. And they all reached out to me, even when I wasn't willing to reach back out to them. And so I have to, thinking back, I have to really credit the publishers with, they always find the talent. So if you're looking to make comics, just put it out there in the world, and people will try to help you up.
Fabulous. Question number 2 is, and you kind of answered this, did you read comics when you were a kid, and if so, who were some of your influences?
I read comics as a kid, of course. I was a big fan of Garfield, so I wanted to be Jim Davis when I was 4 or 5 years old. Everything I did was, I wanted to be like the creator of Garfield, but at the same time, my favorite illustrator at the time was Mort Drucker of Mad Magazine.
Oh, sure.
And Mad Magazine was my favorite. I think I liked Mad better than Garfield. But I guess I wasn't supposed to be reading a lot of that when I was 5. But I really loved it. It was a way for me to learn about movies, and so I used Mad Magazine for that. And so Mad Magazine, Garfield. Later on, I got into some superhero comics. I was into Jim Lee's X-Men and things like that.
Excellent. What are you currently working on?
I'm currently working on Amulet 6. I just finished Amulet 5 like a few weeks ago, so and I have to get back to work on Amulet, but I'm working on Amulet 6. We're actually already laying the groundwork for the next Explorer. I don't know, actually I should probably not have said that, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, we're going to continue with Explorer.
Oh, great.
And I'm also that's it, pretty much that, and the Amulet app. Yeah.
That's right, the Amulet app. I'm very excited for that. Number 4 is, what graphic novels or comics titles have you read in the past year that you think are fantastic for kids or for teens?
Anya's Ghost is the best. Is the best. I mean, that's like one of the best graphic novels ever made. So, and I knew that when I first saw it in sketch form. I actually saw it in thumbnail form when Vera showed it to me.
Nice.
And I read it and I said, this is. I mean, Vera has been a flight artist for since the beginning, and I'll go back a little bit. My history with Vera. She did a story for Flight 1 that I thought was at the time the best comic strip I had ever read.
Wow.
And it was her strip that convinced me to quit my job, so that I can provide the Flight Anthology with enough time to get it a publisher.
Wow.
It was actually, she delivered it the day, I think the week of my the company partners, the people I was working with, decided to give me an ultimatum to work on my comics or work like full time with the company, and to treat it like it was my own. And I think that ultimatum was fair, because you should focus on what you're going to do. And I decided, after reading Vera's comic, I said, this book needs to be published. This is so good that So her comic actually threw me into comics.
Wow.
And so I'm gonna give a shout out to Anya's Ghost because it is fantastic.
Oh, very good. And my last question is kind of librarian-y. If you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring one book with you, and it doesn't have to be a comic, it can be any book at all, what book would that be?
Any book?
Any book.
Oh man. I've never had the desert island question with a
Really?
book. It's always a movie, but
well, where'd you plug it in?
What's that?
Where would you plug it in if it were a movie?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
See, I'm a thinker.
Yeah, if I was on a desert island, I wouldn't even be reading. I would just be making a boat.
Maybe a how-to book then?
How to make a boat. No, gosh, that's really, really hard. Because my favorite books, I don't think they were so easy for me to digest and to remember, like The Time Machine and Old Man to Sea. I don't know if I would need to have it with me.
Yeah. The complete works of Hemingway, maybe.
Maybe like the complete works of everything. If I could get the biggest, like if I had to pick one book and I could just get one like Barnes and Noble complete everything book, like that was that big, then I'll just take
that would be the one.
I'll cheat.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Kazu. I appreciate it.